Good evening, everybody. Am I audible to the participants?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. It's wonderful meeting everybody. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. It's wonderful meeting you. Welcome to my. Yes, it's me, no? Why is there an... I'm sorry about it. That we had a technical glitch with the live streaming, overlapping the live presentation. Welcome once again to all of you gathered here, and I'm sure in a meanwhile, a lot more participants would join us. I would like to thank our speaker for her time and effort, and gracefully acknowledging our FDP program organized by the Department of English here at SRM University, Sikkim. And today is the session 2 with Dr. Natasha, and she will be taking us through today's session. Ma'am, without further ado, may I request you to take this forward?
Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome back to some of you who were there in my previous session. And although, today's session appears to be not so connected with the previous session, I will still try to bring in a little bit of a connection. So, okay. I think sharing is not allowed.
No, we will. 1 minute, just a minute.
Okay. So
yes, ma'am.
I can do it now. Yes. So if you can tell me.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Yeah, and now let me. Yeah, and also my presentation is visible, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, so let me move this a bit in the corner.
We are able to see the title page of your presentation.
Okay. Yes. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. Thank you so much to the SRM FDP team. And welcome back to many of you who joined yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised with the number of participants who were there. And so today, which is sort of for me a kind of a continuation of what we did yesterday, the topic of my lecture is going to be interdisciplinary research and collaborative digital projects. And similar to yesterday's class, this is going to be the structure. I am going to focus on projects, unlike yesterday, which was I realized a little bit of theory heavy or history heavy, where I was also trying to bring in some of the debates and the challenges of distant reading. In today's sessions, I would want to focus on the project themselves, and as requested by Dr. Padmini, I would also try to bring in a little bit. I will try to squeeze in a little bit of an activity in between, just some kind of a fun exercise associated with the projects. So, now let me begin by starting off. So I will begin by looking at certain projects which fall into the category of which makes use of the DH method that I introduced yesterday, that is distant reading. And the project that I'm going to discuss today, it's going to be, it's not a straightforward project which would make use of these method. And then after that, I will speak about some samples of projects from India. And then as some many of you would know, my research area is is focused on India's northeast. So I would be also discussing certain projects from the region. And now let me begin with the project, some of the projects which looks at distant reading. And I would also want to recapitulate a bit on what we did yesterday. So this particular entry is from the book titled Digital Humanities. And here we could see that yesterday, if we observe close reading and distant reading, at least we could see that in the debates that sort of surfaced when the term was coined, and in the early stages, as you could see, they were the debates happen after the coinage of the term, which was in 2000 by Moretti. We see people from two kind, there was a certain kind of a polarization in the field of literary studies, and between literary studies and literary studies in the DH, literary studies in the conventional in universities, especially in the English departments, and literary studies in DH. And you could see distant reading being pitted against close reading. However, this particular book tries to sort of complicate this binary between the two of them. So it begins by saying that, I'm just going to read out part of it. Within the humanities, close reading has been a central practice that is premised on careful attention to features contained in a text, as well as its variations, history, transmission, possible meanings, and range of nuances. Close reading has its roots in the philological tradition of the humanities, but for more than a generation, has often been equated with deep hermeneutics and exegesis techniques in which interpretations are excavated from a text through ever closer reading of textual evidences, references, word choices, semantics, and register. The growth in size and accessibility of digital databases and concurrent advances in text mining and what Lev Menovich had called causal analytics have opened up new ways of creating meaning through distant reading. So, if what I have just read out were in at the beginning were features of close reading, where you excavate interpretation from a text and through textual evidence, references, word choices, semantics, and registers. Then, on the other hand, we have distant reading, making use of some of these keywords called text mining and cultural analytics, and trying to do this similar kind of a thing in the context of digital databases. So in digital humanities, distant reading explicitly ignores the specific features of any individual text that close reading concentrate on in favor of gleaning larger trends and patterns from a corpus of text. Please note that, okay, the idea of the corpus, the idea of a large amount of text is a prerequisite for the distant reading that digital humanities endorses. Distant reading is therefore not just a digitization or quickener of classic humanities methodologies. It is rather a new way of doing research wherein computational methods allow for novel sets of questions to be posed about the history of ideas, language use, cultural values, and their dissemination, and the processes by which culture is made. Distant reading is almost not reading at all, but rather engages the abilities of natural language processing to extract the gist of a whole mass of texts and summarize them for a human reader in ways that allows researchers to detect large scale trends, patterns, and relationship that are not discernible from a single text or detailed analysis. And here, it gives an example of a case study. We will be moving on to this case study very soon. But yeah, let me just continue a bit on this. Rather than pitting distant reading against close reading, what we are seeing is the emergence of new conjunctions between the macro and the micro, general surface trends, and deep hermeneutic inquiry, the global view from above and the local view on the ground. So the current intent in the first paragraph was an example of the distinct methods, at least during the time of the coinage of the term distant reading, and this new method of introduction of this new it not this method in the digital realm, which led to the coinage of this term. There was a clear cut distinction between these two terms, but in practice, in the contemporary, there is the coming together, how they are working in conjunctions. So distant and the close, macro and the micro, surface and the depth, global and the local, they are brought together. Digital humanities is capable of toggling between uh, views of the data, zooming in and out, searching for large scale patterns, and then focusing in on fine grained analysis. While distant reading may be new insofar as computational techniques are involved in sifting through, organizing, and visualizing multitudes of data, it is worth remembering that humanities scholarship has long oscillated between and sometimes even conjoined these two approaches. After all, census data provide now, it gives an example of census data, provides an overall statistic picture of demographics, but tell nothing of the individual who live in a given census tract. It is the task of oral histories, biographies, and psychological analysis to delve into the depth of the self. Similarly, a view from above in Google Art allows a researcher to quickly pan over large regions of the art in order to discern surface structures of the built and natural environment, as well as overlay imagery and data sets such as, national oceanic atmospheric. So these are, various kinds of digital tools, not necessarily the tools of distant reading, but which would allow us for spatial analysis like Google Arts, maps, GIS systems. So the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration satellite photographs of areas affected by storms, geographic information system data related to demographics, traffic trend data, and so forth. But these data become more meaningful when yoked with the stories of the people who actually live and have lived there, allowing researchers to not only skim over the surface of the earth, but also drill down into the macro level, temporal layers comprising the histories of every neighborhood, block, and home. Radically innovative approaches to mapping could emerge from within the digital humanities to create environments for exploring differential geographies and delving into the heterogeneous geospatial representations beyond simply registering the phenomenological aspects of space on conventional maps. It remains a challenge to conceive, design, and implement such platforms. So now I will give you an example of a digital project, which The first case, which makes use of distant reading, and as you could see, you would also see some of the tools. So the case which was mentioned, which made use of both the close and the distant. And so this case study is on the expanded publication of a textual corpus of papyrus fragments from the Alexandria Library. So it's a project based in a library in Alexandria. And this textual corpus project will build a collection. The aim of this project is to build that links two existing repositories, making use of certain text-based annotation platforms for debate about textual variants. So, as you could see, some of the text-based annotation platforms that we were introduced to yesterday. For example, the Voyant and Conch and Ngram were some of them that I had introduced in the last class. And so these platforms would would discuss about variance, textual variance. So it is looking at the variations of these archival text. It will perform some probabilistic natural language processing, which we did last time. We look at concordances, we look at concurrence, we look at occurrences of words. We looked at which word appears the most, how many words, and so on. In the corpus of Shakespeare's using Voyant, we sort of I provided a sort of glimpse of some of those words, and then uses a collocation tool to study those variants and create an augmented critical edition of these fragments. Several different traditional and expanded publication models will be used to allow scholars with different profiles and agendas to present their findings in an appropriate fashion. So let's see a little bit of what is happening in this project. Okay, so it says a new cache of papyrus fragments has been discovered in Alexandria, Egypt. So there has been an excavation of some paper fragments in Alexandria. Though considerably damaged by neglect and wear, these fragments promise to answer some long-standing question about the spread of the Phoenician script and the dates of its adoption across North Africa. So these would help in understanding the fragments, would help in understanding the scripts and how these scripts were adopted in North Africa. And its possible dissemination along trade routes in India. Some surprising feature of these papyri make clear that they were recycled several times in the course of their use. Many are palimpsest, and some have several layers of script in varying degrees of legibility. So there was a sense that this particular item had these fragments had changed hands over many years. There were attempts of it being, there were attempts to probably, preservation attempts were probably also there. So, how that's why, there is a recycling is a host of different imaging techniques and digital platforms for integrating the data collected from the papyri are currently available. One major part of this project will be to repurpose some of the techniques that have been used successfully in other projects in Western Semitic epigraphy. However, the language in these papyri is not limited to Semitic tongues. And to the surprise of the librarians involved in the discovery, several as yet unidentified languages seem to have been making use of scripts whose use and spread had been thought to be well documented. One scholar had suggested the presence of Indo-European roots in the organization of the linguistic structure, which would suggest earlier contact with the Indian subcontinent and more dramatic cultural diffusions and influence. So from these language, they realized that through these papyrus fragments, these texts that they had discovered, it was not only talking about the Phoenician scripts, but it also found scripts of unidentified languages. And hence, it was also talking about a certain kind of a cultural contact from a certain kind of a cultural diffusion that these text fragments were sort of pointing at. So NLP techniques for ancient languages are in experimental stages, especially with fragmentary sample sets. Some speculative and probabilistic reading of the papyri and of the text will be used. The research problem is to identify the language groups represented in this papyri, match the script forms and use with the known corpus of Semitic epigraphy, and track the variant in a database that can support data mining and text analysis across versions. Translations, there will be translations. So there would be comparison of variations, identification of the various languages being used, and try to link these languages with their respective scripts and script forms. There would be also translations, and a side benefit will be the creation of a digitized, and the final output is to have a digitized corpus. One of the difficulties that a measure figure in early Indo-European language is elderly, ill, and unable to travel, so that his input will have to be done entirely on digital surrogates. And then, yeah, it is also pointing out a very human kind of a problem. So one of a big figure who has knowledge of the early Indo-European languages is apparently very elderly and very ill. So there is also an attempt to build digital surrogates, which will be digital copies. This elderly figure would who linguist who is an expert in early Indo-European languages. He is unable to be present physically to examine these fragments, so he would be examining these fragments digitally. Digital versions would be shared. A platform for annotating and tracking his contribution will have to be built. So they also need to build a platform where he will be annotating it. And this is an incentive for involving a team of mid-career and younger scholars whose formulation of problem of linguistic change and diffusion will be essential. They are demanding an augmented publication format that will allow their work to publish rapidly with a short peer review and so on. Okay. And so this is the method. It also talks about their methods and their work plans. As you could see, imaging techniques will be used, partnership with share access, create files, test integration with comparison, probabilistic method of text analysis. This is where our distant reading would come, identify translation of source text, link existing repository and online translations, annotations, and version control platforms. And cultural analytics, pattern recognition, then peer review, platform, and then finally you have disseminations in the Twitter feed, RSS feed to publicize the process and engage participants. You have a big, there is a plan to have a beta version of the project being published, and so on. Okay, so now this is an example of distant reading being used in a DH project. It, as you could see, it has intersections with linguistic studies, archaeology, because manuscript studies, or book history. And here you could see coming together of you are focusing that there is this focus on particular languages, but because you are also going to compare these large number of texts. There is also focus on the comparisons of various texts also. So you have the distant and the close, macro and the micro, the global and the local. The local here being Alexandra, Egypt, and its global trend in the larger, its connection with the Indo, in Indo European languages, and hence also the various regions which speak that language. So as you could see, this particular example project sort of opens out and sees how the polarization or the clear cut boundaries between the distant and the close reading is getting blurred. And now, this is another example, and I would, at this stage, I would also sort of, want to have a, some kind of I would also want to have some kind of, a kind of connections with all of you. So we will come back to this particular example in a while, in a bit. We will come back to this case in a bit. And so I would now, so that was the example of a project which made use of distant reading. And I have this second example, but I will skip it and move on to the second projects. And I'm hoping that, as I progress and as I move on to the projects in India, I'm hoping to find some kind of I'm hoping that some of you are familiar, and I would want some kind of an input. So, okay, I think before I move on to the India project, let me, sorry. Okay, let me, ask, is there anybody, in this, let me see, okay. Is there anybody in the session who are aware of any kind of DH projects? Yeah, you can just sort of unmute yourself and answer. I think I have given a snippet of one of the DH projects. Uh, but yeah, you can just unmute yourself, or you can just type it in the chat. So I want to hear from the audience, from a unique mix of students and faculty members and researchers interested in digital humanities. And particularly for this FDP, we are looking at AI and literary lens, looking at digital humanities through these two lenses. So anybody from the audience, uh, if some of you can tell me about any DH projects that they know in India. Anybody? Is there anybody? I think I'll stop sharing for a while, and then, yeah. Class, I mean, so, okay. So you aren't aware of any of the DH projects. So I was also want to know, okay, this is just a curiosity, okay? So I wanted to know, what do you understand by, digital humanities? Uh, what I mean, from your previous sessions, as I
Hello,
could
ma'am.
see. Yes, huh?
If I'm audible, I am Somnath from Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, as I am also not fully aware, but there is an element of presumption which I do with regard to this. When can we bring about those aspects of archivings that people do in memory studies? Can those be incorporated in? Because in partition studies also they are looked into.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Somnath, for
Thank you. Lovely
teaching.
listening to you as a
Yeah.
master.
And yes, absolutely. And in fact, digital humanities has a whole module, or you could say a subfield in archiving, which looks at preservation of from text. So library studies, museum studies. So one of the sector in digital humanities is called GLAM. So galleries, libraries, archives, and museums. And in fact, many of the work, especially associated with memory studies, associated with preservation, conservation of artifacts of the past, they would, engage with some of the archives that you did. And in fact, yes, there are partition archives. They are they come under the purview of DH projects. So yeah, thank you, Somnath. And so yeah, I will
Thank you,
now
ma'am.
go. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for sharing your thoughts. I mean, raising this important question. And also now, sort of makes my task easier, because some of the kind of the projects that I'm going to also talk about, they bring in, many are also going very futuristic, but there are also many projects which goes to the past. Okay, so which has intersections with memory studies. And so yeah, let me begin by let's go back to the the projects. And yeah, so the first project, has anybody heard of? Sorry, I think it started off from the beginning, so sorry. Yeah, so yeah, the first project, has anybody heard of this project called Bichitra? The details are here. So anybody who is aware of this is.
Yes, yes, I know about Bichitra. It We have this entire archive of Rabindranath Tagore's entire life and works, everything arranged in the digital manner. And it took a few years, and lot of researchers and assistants, they worked together. I know that much information.
Yeah. But are you aware that this is actually a DH project? It also could be considered a DH project.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Yes, the digital literary process, in order to arrange all these materials in one place.
Mhm.
People have already learned, and I have also come to know that the same model, or further developed models, they are planning to apply in other projects also. So it was one of those early projects, as far as I know.
Yeah, and see, I think, thank you so much for answering. Sorry, I can't see you right now, so I don't know who is speaking. But as you could see, this is a description of this project. Okay, and I would want you to pay attention to the kind of people. So it is it's a digitization project, And at the time of of the writing, this abstract is from Rupika Risam's essay in South Asian Review, published in 2015. And at that time, there had been around 47,000 manuscripts, 91,000 work of Tagore's work. And as you could see, the number of people who are involved in this kind of a work. So as you could see, it is based in Jadavpur University, coordinated by an emeritus professor. And I think he is a scholar of Professor Sukanta Chaudhary. And then you have you have, apart from Jadavpur, other collaborations. So there are collaborations from Shantiniketan, collaborations from Harvard, collaboration of Calcutta University, and private Tagore collectors. And apart from that, they are also, as you could see, many of these are, as Professor Sukanta Chaudhary and Sankha Ghosh, they are literary scholars, okay, scholars of literary studies. And they have come together with some of these scientists who would create this collocation tool called Praved. So what I would want you to pay attention to here is that it's a highly interdisciplinary and a collaborative kind of a project. And these are the these are the features of a project which will fit into. So it involves, as it was rightly pointed out previously, archival work. It involves setting up of an archive of a sort of Tagore's work. And it makes use of these collocation tool called Prabhat. And here we see, versions. I would also give you a brief demo of, of Prabhat. And, so what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to pause for a few minutes. And I'm going to share a link to every one of you. Sorry, share a link and ask you guys. So I would want everyone to, and I'm going to give a few 5 minutes. And now I would want you to go to this link. Sorry. Yeah, this link. And I think this is the link, right? Yeah. So, okay, this is the Valorium. Sorry, not this link, the other one. I'm going to ask you to visit this particular link and tell me what you notice. Okay, the second link, which introduces Prabhat. And now, okay, I think I will just give me a moment. Now, okay, just okay. Is everybody Nina? Have you checked that link out? Can anybody tell me what do they see? Class, can anybody tell me what do they see? If anybody, yes. So I would want you to explore. Yeah, I would want you to explore this FUD link and tell me explain if anybody can explain to me what it is doing. It would be, yeah.
So I am accessing the second link provided by you, ma'am. There
Okay.
I'm getting a collation guide, levels of collation.
Yes.
And here, section and segment wise, they have given. Okay, so
Yeah.
the
Can
gross
you,
sort of macro collaboration section.
yeah. So I'm interrupting you a bit. Can you go to how to use Prabhat? And then it's mentioned, click on the collocation on the home page menu. A bibliographical table will open. Click on the collocation logo in the title column on the left. The section level display will open. Can you try doing that? Can anybody? So can you just click on the collocation? And I think I would, I will be honest, since I do not know how to read Bangla, so please go to the collocation. You will have a drop-down menu showing the guide, Bengali and English, and go to the English and click on that poem and songs. Are you all following me? Are we all on the same page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just also share it, okay, as I'm walking you through this. Let me also share whatever I'm doing. So everybody can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we
Now,
can.
yeah, so now as per instruction, this particular feature is supposed to give us versions of Tagore's work. Okay, so if you click on this particular so not all texts have different versions. So the one which has version is number 8, the one where my arrow is kept, and if you click on this, it will lead us to another page, and these are color-coded versions. Okay, and if you want to know, so there is a 1918 version, there is an R305A version, and there is R77 version, which if we see, yeah. So as you could see, these are manuscript types. So let me just try to move it a bit. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so you have for this particular a poesy, lover's gift, you have, yeah, see, RV 007 version, 305 version, and the poem was published in was published in 1918, and this is the 1918 version. You could see, the different versions of this poem. Okay, and and if you click here, you would see the text, and there are slight variations between these versions. So this is sort of an exercise I thought of navigating, and how there are certain ways in which the color coding allows us to see different versions, and the function of this collocation tool called Prabhat. Okay, so yeah, that was just a brief demo, and thank you for engaging me, indulging me, allowing me to sort of engage you with this activity. Now let's move on to the second DH project. And so Vichitra, as you could see, yeah, it is one of the earliest DH projects. It's the reason that I have spoken about it at the beginning of this session is also because it is one of the earliest projects, DH projects in India. And then the second project is Nitartha. Okay, and let's also try to explore it a bit. So this is an archive of Tibetan writing, and this particular project had a dual goal. Okay, as you could see, it was not only preserving this Tibetan writing, but it was also offering IT skills to project workers. So you could see that unlike the very academic kind of a project, and inevitably this is a highly interdisciplinary collaborative kind of a project, it brings in a lot of stakeholders. In fact, you could see that the bulk of the work take place in Nepal. So this is a collaboration between Tibet-speaking regions, in India, and also with the Tibet speakers from Nepal. And let me show you, let me also now give you a glimpse of this is how I'm unable to, this is their website. It was slightly difficult for me to sort of figure out, get they do not have, I think, the at least I had great difficulty in finding this particular site digital libraries of this site. And the one that I could find was in, I think it's one of the script of the Tibetan languages. It's a Tibetan script. And unfortunately, I have not been able to figure out how to change it back into English. So that is that's Nitharta for you. And apart from that, another is on the Urdu language. And here it's the Iqbal Cyber Library. And it is the first digital collections of Urdu literature. And it was designed by an academy in Pakistan, Iqbal Academy, Pakistan. And there's an inspiration of the Project Gutenberg. And the goal was to create digital library of free books. So open access, making democratization of books, making books available to everyone freely, without any of those payment gateways to sort of create another digital device. And currently there are 800 digital books, and they publish in multiple formats. So when Risam was looking at it, it had 800 books, and the latest news from the site is that it has around 2,746 holdings, and from around 1,290 contributors in 194 subjects in 28 languages. So let's also visit this site. And so as you could see, you have these are the books. And this is about the library. You have the different products. They have, in fact, they have mobile apps. So as you could see, Iqbal Review mobile apps. You have Kuliyat Iqbal Urdu mobile apps, so they have apps associated with it. Then search in Iqbal Urdu poetry, so there is a concordance. And does anybody know Urdu here? So as you could see, this is a search in Urdu. So is there anybody from the audience who can help here? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you help me here? Is there a way? And I think this is what do you see? Can you explain this page to us?
Like it is talking about It is the list given here
Mm-hmm.
of the alphabet, ma'am.
Okay, these are alphabets, right? So you can actually type in. So can you guide me and type a word, or or what kind of a search is possible here?
Like from that alphabet, what kind of words we can write here? It is giving in that box, ma'am.
Okay, so and please know that I think Iqbal is a famous poet, right? So it's
Yes,
this particular,
exactly.
yeah, this particular archive focuses on, just like we had Tagore there. Here it focuses on Iqbal's work, and so is it, can you help me? You can guide me into searching. Is there a way if we can search something?
Uh,
So any alphabet, I mean, you have to guide me, you have to tell me, the first line from the left or the right, and then I can choose an alphabet, choose the alphabet and probably compose a word.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
First line, second letter.
First line, second letter. This one?
No, ma'am. First line, above.
Okay, second letter. Second letter. This one?
This from right side. Urdu starts from right side. So second letter
Oh,
means
this one.
yes.
Okay. Oh, what is
Ah,
happening?
so many. Yeah, from it is the letter gives so many words.
Ah, okay. All right. And what are these words?
These are the words of Urdu, ma'am. Like
Oh.
Atish. Atish means fire.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Ma'am.
Okay. So this one is leading to Atish, right?
Yes.
So what is this word?
Which one, ma'am?
The one where my arrow, my sort of hand is there. My arrow is there.
It's not clear, ma'am.
Okay, this
Just
one.
move your arrow, ma'am.
Okay. And if we click on that, we are led to this page. Can you describe what is happening in this page?
From letter Alif, it says.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the verses come in that context? The whole list is given, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Like
Thank you.
Awak,
Yeah.
Ram,
Huh.
Afsana, Tara,
Mhm.
all these things.
Okay. All right. Thank
So
you so
we
much.
also,
Yeah.
ma'am, like it is somewhat index of those words,
Mhm.
and that Afsana Tara will be found on page number 229, 228, like that.
Okay.
2.
Hmm. So you could see, the amount of work that has been, especially, technical kind of a, the back end, technical back end kind of a team who had to create this particular app, and which will allow these features to function. So, you could see the computational angle here, right? Everybody is pretty clear now, right, about the computational angle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah. Now that was Iqbal Cyber Library. Let's now move on to the second project, and let's also explore, what kind of things it can do. And all right, let's move to the next. Okay, this is another Urdu archival, online collection of Urdu poetry, and it includes works of 650 writers. And uh, it unfortunately I was not able to play, but it also includes video. The project offers a platform for young poets whose work is available on video, and so it includes ghazals and nazams, and then the contents are available in so Nastagi, Devnagari, Roman. And one interesting, this I came across, it also had poem in Wakta, okay, and it was very interesting for me. Uh, so let me, okay, so this is the index of the poems. And then I'm choosing English. So you have, three options. And let's see. Okay, let's try to see if there are some videos of some of you. Okay, Khayyam, right? So then, yeah. Do you want to choose any poets from here? Can anybody help me to choose a particular?
Abdullah Ghazi.
Abdullah Ghazi. Okay, let's see here. Let's go there. Okay, so this is his page. You have ebooks. I was hoping if there is an option of oh no. I also wanted to okay, so this is his Nazam. Okay. Okay, I wanted an option so yeah, you could see his works and hold on. Okay, I wanted to also see, there was a video. Okay, I mean that I just see share, right? Okay, see, there are, there is a page called Shero Shairi, and it says this page brings together countless splendid shared by noted poets handpicked from long poetic tradition of Urdu. Reader can sort this Urdu shared by poets, topics, emotions. So yeah, these are, I think Talwar, Daman, Kabili, Tala, Kamra, Zahid, Tali, Nagma, Khaskari, Luft, Dasht, Chak, Kuza, and Chashma. So, so these are the various, I think let's just type on Chashma.
Collections.
Sorry?
Collections, no ma'am.
Okay, these are various collections, right? Okay. And are they also centering around certain emotions?
Exactly, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then what is the main emotion here? Shero Tala, right? So this is on Tala. So, कौन खोलेगा दिल के का वो कमरा नाम का तेरा जिस पे ताला है. So this
Tala
is
means lock, ma'am. Lock.
Tala.
Who,
So,
who
okay.
will open? Who will open the lock of my heart?
Heart. Okay.
Heart's door. Yes.
So Tala means actually lock, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a
Yes,
share
ma'am.
on Tala. Okay. It's literally the imagery of the lock, right? कौन खोलेगा दिल के
दिल
दिल
का
का
वो
वो कमरा
कमरा
कमरा हाँ तो
नाम
दिल का वो कमरा ओके ओके
yes
ओके
नाम का
इंटरेस्ट
तेरे जिस पे ताला है.
okay so in fact they have organized it along with so Daman it's Tala means
दामन.
literally the lock. Okay. So there
Yes,
is
ma'am.
arrangements of in terms of themes. Here it's a subject. The subject matter is Tala, lock, right?
Yes,
Interesting.
ma'am.
Thank you for pointing out. So as you could see, this is Rekti for you. I wanted to show some video, but I think this thing, this arrangement of the shares according to subjects, emotions, feelings, and topics. These are this is quite interesting. So this is as you could see one of the DH projects from India on Urdu poetry. And now let's move on to the third project. This was the one which I was talking about. Yeah, and this is again another on the Urdu poetry, and it looks at it has videos and documentaries, and right it has as you could see more varieties Urdu, Sindhi, and Wakhi, and let's also try to see this project. So as you could see, yeah, this is a demo of you have a video, or this particular song is this is it's a ghazal from in Wakhi language. This is, and as you could see, you have the video version, you have the audio version, and then it's translation, transliteration, Urdu version, And then also you have the English version. It's by the poet is Shahid Akhtar, poetic artist is Joheb Balji, and you have Danatum Posu coming in here. Okay, so let me give you a glimpse. I think, yeah, we are overshooting the time. Is it fine? Padmini and others, is it fine? I'm overshooting the time a bit. I didn't realize.
Yes, ma'am, but yeah, uh, you can go ahead for a couple of more minutes. Not a problem at all.
Okay, because I also
I
wanted
hope it's fine with the audience because they're
Yeah.
all connected from different parts, and some of them are traveling
Yeah,
back from work. Yeah,
yeah.
yes, yes.
So,
But it's very interesting, let me point that.
yeah, thank you. But I didn't realize, I mean, yeah.
It's
So, yeah,
beautiful.
so I'll skip this part. I'll share the link, for others to play. So now, yeah, so that was the last of, so there, apart from this, there are also, some projects sponsored by the US. One of these is the South Asian Literary Recording Project. And as you could see, focuses has predominantly been on languages. So it's again another language projects. So you have prominent authors reading excerpts. So you have, and then reading and reading excerpts from their works in different languages of the country. So Assamese, Bengali, and then there are also attempts to bring in these other languages, Kashmiri, Konkani, and Tibet, which have been left out. And now, yeah, I'll move on to the Northeastern project. It doesn't have quite a lot, but, the three prominent, one is everybody is aware of the, the smart cities. I will not be moving on in much more detail, but as you could see, for the Northeastern projects, I wanted to also bring in some of the issues that are happening. As you could see, we are now moving beyond, merely looking at projects which were archival in nature, which were trying to also, sort of, you know, archiving, preservation of the past. Here we see, at least, there are also projects which are futuristic, and the idea of the smart city of bringing in, digitization, what you call digital urbanism. Was the attempt with which the smart cities objective were sort of introduced. And I'm referring to this particular study by Magdora and Lai on the smart city and the problematics of how this. I also wanted to highlight, as I'm also discussing some of these digital projects, some of the problematics of or the question of digital divide, which is a very important concern. So Duncan Magdara would point out, how he points out 5 challenges of infrastructure, challenges of, surveillism, challenges of governance, and, challenges of how the region being an exception. So there is a favoritism because of the militarization. There is the fear of, the fear of surveillance, so the entry of smart city is problematic. So yeah, I mainly wanted to focus on that. And then the other project was about the digitization of the libraries. And I looked at, so I had an activity in mind, but I think I'll skip it. So we'll move on to the second part. So as you could see, this sort of assesses, so we all know of the National Digital Library Mission. And so the Digital Library Initiative in the Northeast is part of that mission. And so I for the digital libraries project in India's Northeast, I refer to this survey by Mukherjee and Patra. And then, these are some of the observations, as you could see. Okay, so their study looked at, the question of access, how many collections they hold, whether these were open access or they were closed access, whether they had involvement with third parties, and then whether so these are some of the details about the 17 libraries in the 8 states that they had discussed. And then these are some of the observations. Okay, and then now, I'll move on to the last part, and with this I will end my session also. So as you could see, those two were predominantly state-led initiatives, DH projects, and now in comparison to that, I'm now moving on to to a non-state led project, which is the Northeast India AV archive. So it's a public audiovisual archive. This was established in 2019, and it's based in Shillong, in one of the colleges, St. Anthony College, a department, and the endeavor was to it's again an archival project, as you could see. And apart from its archival work, it also organizes film festivals and photo exhibitions. It attempts to sort of preserve the narratives and stories of the people from the region. And so the archive has these artifacts, newsreels, films, photographs, newspaper documents, and audio recording. So let me just go so this is the website, and these are people involved. And I also wanted to show you the kind of items that are there. So photographs, and so you have archivings on the various the Tangkhul communities of Manipur. You have on the Aribam, he is a famous Maitai filmmaker from Manipur. You would have capacity building thing, curations of museums, and so these are the various activities. And yeah, and let me just see. Okay, and let me just end with so then these are the various projects that they do. So you have the projects on the marketplaces, stories, then on the various steps, and they also have a blog, which which says a photograph. So so you on a wall photography day, they have instead of photograph, a handwritten essay on photograph, something. These are some of the interesting things that they do. They looked at the various they are working on the various communities in the Northeast, and doing phenomenal work in archiving. As you could see, these are some of the projects. See, some of the items that are being digitized, these VH tapes. And so, with this, I think, this is their memory card there. And now with this, I think, I will conclude. Thank you. I had to rush in through the last part because somehow I realized that, the exploration of the archive was also very interesting.
Yes.
So thank you, everybody, for, giving me 8 minutes more. And
we would love to have you again, ma'am, sometime to talk to our students and faculty. Before I hand it over to my colleague to deliver the vote of thanks, I would like to ask the participants if there are any questions, comments, observations that you would like to put it across to the speaker. You can feel free to turn. Yes, ma'am, I have a question for you from, okay. The Bishmita ma'am, would you want to read it yourself?
Yes. So I am doing research on Indian mythology and graphic narratives. So I'm in the submission phase now, and I have a plan to conclude for the concluding chapter. I mean, there are other concerns also inside the research regarding some digital explorations that we are facing, the challenges, the developments we are having at this moment, and also thinking about the concluding chapter. I'm struggling with this, so I posted something here that I wanted to expand my understanding on digital futures of myth. For example, how AI, animation, and digital comics increasingly intervene in myth production. So, if you can give me a couple of suggestions, that is it.
So, yeah, I will begin by, breaking up, I'll begin by speaking a little bit on, what is happening to comic studies with the intervention of AI and animation and the emergence of digital comics. And then I'll move on to the myth production. Okay. So, thank you so much, first of all, Devasmita, for your question. See, there has been, especially even in the kind of work that I'm doing, I am, as you could see in the introduction yesterday, I am currently working on a project which is trying to explore the various origins, versions, and variations of comic cultures all over the world. And fortunately for me, the support for this project has been tremendous. I have around 20 participants all over the world from across. And yes, there is no one from India. I represent India here, okay, and working on a small corpus of Meitei comics, okay, coming in with my chapter on Manipur. And my aim was to bring in, come up with a new kind of a comic, which will make comic accessible, more experiential, interactive, immersive, multilingual, multimodal, multisensory, multisensory, and so on. Okay. And that is what I had imagined. So in my attempt to explore this, I came across, these there were studies where, the AR/VR comics. Now, there are coming of something called AR/VR comics, wordless comics, imageless comics, multimodal comics, and where the text will do the function of the image, and image will do the function of the text, okay, and so on, okay. And there are the limit of the comic studies is tremendous now. And now what happens to the myths? Okay, so myth production, we could see, very often the narratologies of the myths are also incorporated. There has been studies where people are gamifying, comifying these myths into new formats. And when this transition into a new mode or new modality happens, it is also bringing in some of the narratological components of the myths. It's not only the content that's being translated, transferred from one into the other, but even the mode of storytelling changes, the experiences of the storytelling changes. So with AR/VR, we can actually experience, people who are differently able. They could actually experience, they would have haptic experiences, and new ways of experiencing the world would happen. So yeah, I hope I have answered your question, Devasmita Sarkar. Or
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And later on, also, it would be nice as I'm working on this topic. So it would be nice if I can get in touch with you. Me and
yes.
Padmini ma'am are colleagues. So I hope I will get your email ID and we'll keep in touch. Would like to be in touch.
Yes, I would be happy to share. Okay, so in fact, to continue, in fact, I came across this AR/VR comics, which makes use of the comic forms. Okay, so you would have these expressions of boom, bam, and like that, and this will help in augmenting the experience. So some of the narratological techniques of the comics are being incorporated in some of these technologically produced comics, and it will augment the experience of the comics. Okay, so I would be happy to be in touch with you. Please, yeah. Thank you, Devasmita, for your question again. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, if there are no further questions from the audience, I would like to hand it over to my colleague, Sumnima Parajuli, to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session.
Good evening. On behalf of Department of English, SRM University, Sikkim, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks at the conclusion of today's engaging session of the Faculty Development Program on Artificial Intelligence and the Literary Lens. So first and foremost, I'd like to express our deepest gratitude to our distinguished speaker of the day, Dr. Natasha Todam, Assistant Professor of English at the Indian Institute of Technology, Jodhpur. Ma'am, your enlightening talk on interdisciplinary research and collaborative digital projects has been both insightful and inspiring for us. We are truly honored to have you with us today. The perspectives you shared on regarding the various projects abroad and in India and the Northeast have expanded our understanding of how digital intersects with the literary. So we are very grateful for the clarity, depth, and thought-provoking ideas you have brought to this session, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'd also like to extend sincere thanks to our organizers and conveners, Professor Archana Arul and Dr. Padmini, for their tireless efforts in curating such an enriching FDP. My gratitude also goes to our respected head of the department, Dr. Tanushree Sarkar, for her continuous encouragement, guidance, and leadership. Finally, I thank all the participants and colleagues for their active engagement and enthusiasm. With that, we conclude today's proceedings. Thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And
See
bye.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much once again.
Yeah.
Participants, the feedback for link is shared with you. Kindly take time to fill it because your attendance is calculated based on that. Thank you. See you tomorrow.